Welcome to the brand new Silver Arrows show, coming to you from the awesome new Silver Arrows Lounge at the team's HQ in Brackley. Now, some weeks we'll film in the lounge and I'll give you a full tour later on in the show. Other weeks I'll take you behind the scenes at the factory, and sometimes we'll even be at races. Now, coming up on today's show, we show you what happened when Lewis had his first seat fitting for 2016, and I've got all the stats for you from testing in Barcelona. Before testing got underway out in Barcelona, Lewis came to the factory for his first seat fit of 2016. Now, both the drivers have their own carbon fibre seats specially sculpted to their bodies to make sure they're as comfortable as possible. You may have even seen some Formula One drivers falling asleep in the cockpit during practice sessions. That is how comfortable these seats need to be. So we joined Lewis at his first seat fit for 2016 as he made sure everything was perfectly set up for the season.
Every driver has to find their seating position, what they're comfortable in. Since 2014, I've just carried over my seat because it fits perfectly. It's very easy to fall asleep through practice. The seat is molded to my body, so there's no room for movement, really. The seat is very light as well. We try and keep this as light as it could possibly be. It's all carbon fibre. We get as low as possible, so also we can get, you can keep all the weight low, and also that's just best for the car, good for the air intake.
I can't believe the 2 rounds of testing have already been and gone. It was a hectic couple of weeks for the team out in Barcelona, but what did they actually achieve? Let's talk numbers. The team got off to a great start. On the very first day of testing, Lewis managed an impressive 156 laps, and Nico followed suit with 172 laps on day 2. So how's that for reliability straight off the back of the winter break? Together, the team completed 1,294 laps, and that's just over 6,000 kilometres in just 2 weeks of testing. Across that distance, the drivers completed almost 58,230 gear changes. They took 17,952 corners and had almost 52,800,000 fuel injections. But, of course, our Silver Arrows aren't the only Mercedes-powered cars out on track. Together, Mercedes engines covered 4,687 laps of the Circuit de Catalunya, which is almost 16,000 kilometres. Or, if you look at it another way, almost the entire distance between Brackley and Albert Park Circuit in Melbourne. But, if we're being specific, they actually only just got past Ayers Rock. Now, I promised you a tour of the Silver Arrows Lounge, and actually the best place to start is in the atrium outside it, because there is an incredible timeline I want to show you. The racing history of Mercedes-Benz actually dates back to 1894, and it was only in 1934 that the Silver Arrows were born. The timeline, of course, continues all the way up to the present day. Well, I say present day, at the moment it only goes up to 2015, and for 2016, of course, we've got the same driver lineup, Nico Rosberg and the current world champion Lewis Hamilton. This car here, suspended from the ceiling, it's the W05, and this particular chassis is the one that Lewis Hamilton won the Malaysian, Chinese, Bahrain and Spanish Grand Prix in 2014. Time now to go into the Silver Arrows Lounge. So welcome to the Silver Arrows Lounge. This is the brand new entertaining and meeting space for the team and their guests. Behind me you can see the awesome trophy wall. Now, this is where all the trophies that the team has amassed over the last few years are stored, and you'll notice that there are a few spaces waiting to be filled. The Silver Arrows Lounge is on the 2nd floor of the factory, so how did the team get the full-size Formula One car up here? Well, this is not just a pretty picture, this is a giant shutter in front of a giant lift, only in Formula One. It's not just full-size Formula One cars up here in the Silver Arrows Lounge. The wind tunnel model that we featured on the channel a few months ago has also found a new home. On this wall, we have a mixture of car parts and driver's team kit. We've got helmets, racing suits, boots, gloves. But my favourite part has to be down here, the mixture of old and new. This is from the front body of the W165 from 1939 and 1940, and this is a modern Formula One front wing. It just showcases how the Silver Arrows have evolved. At the other end of the Silver Arrows Lounge, we have this beautiful photo wall showing Mercedes-Benz Motorsport past and present. Now, the Silver Arrows Lounge wouldn't be complete without a championship-winning car, and this is the W06, the car that Lewis Hamilton won the championship in last year. But this car won't always be here, so keep an eye on the Silver Arrows show to find out what takes its place.
We know that there is a rivalry, and we appreciate and understand there is a rivalry between the two drivers. They are fighting for a driver championship. This is the most important target for them, and you cannot expect them to just schmooze around. One will try to beat the other, and they have great respect for the organization behind the team. The team sticks together, and Lewis and Nico are very much part of it. So I have no doubt that we will have some interesting moments on track, because it is part of the rivalry, and it is part of Formula One, but all within the spirit of the team.
I am a big fan of the sport. And I think the sport is awesome. And I don't disagree that there's some things that can be done better, of course. And we need to keep questioning it and keep pushing forward and keep looking at making the sport even more fun for people, for everybody at home who's watching us, for all of you, and even for us, of course. But also this year, I mean, Ferrari is very close, so for sure that's going to make it more exciting, even more exciting. Then I think the tires are also going to might have a bigger impact than we now predict, because there's 3 tires, for example, now in Melbourne that we can use, and people can gamble a little bit more, and that will increase the variability, and variability is probably good in that sense, so that could also increase the excitement, thanks to Pirelli in that sense. So many things can happen, but let's wait and see. It's 2 weeks to go. It should be an exciting start to the season anyways.
It's an ongoing thing, but with the time that we spent at the factory and at the track, was really trying to understand what the ban would mean in terms of what they can and cannot say to us. It is a big change. Whether or not I agree with all the implications, I think it's definitely going to make it a lot harder. We have to memorize a lot more things. There's so many different processes which we have to go through, or sequences we have to go through in the car. So we're just trying to figure out ways in which we can try to remember them. So sometimes you'll see stickers in the car, you'll see stickers on the steering wheel, because there is literally so much, and some of it is of no benefit in terms of improving our pace or anything like that. It's just to keep the car going, because it is so technical. So that's why I was saying some of them I don't agree with, because it's irrelevant to the pace of the car or to the spectators. But I think the idea is probably a good thing, and I think you'll see it evolve over the races. We're all going to struggle probably in the first race in some way or some form, but we've tried to prepare the best way we can.
That brings us to the end of the very first Silver Arrows show. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, we love to hear what you think, so why not comment below and tell us what you'd like to see in the show. I'll be back, I can't believe I'm about to say this, after the first race of the season. It's time for Melbourne.